Okay, so let's unpack this. We are diving into a project that honestly feels like this ultimate kind of unexpected merger of medicine, ancient philosophy, and orchestral music.
It really is.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into a concept that uses music, and I mean specifically composed, scientifically structured music to enhance sexual well-being and romantic experiences.
It's a pretty remarkable piece of source material, and it's all centered on the vision of one person, a Dr. Prabhakara Viswakarma, and his creation, Kamasutra the Musical.
Yeah.
And, when you look at the claims, this isn't meant to be just background noise. It's positioned as a carefully calibrated therapeutic tool.
And it's already getting a lot of attention. I mean, the first thing that really jumps out is the international recognition.
Right.
Kamasutra the Musical was honored in the Golden Book of World Records. That's the GBWR back on May 27, 2020.
And it was officially recognized as the first music-based project on sexual well-being. What's important to understand about that is it acknowledges the uniqueness of it, the intent. So our mission today is really to move past the headlines.
Right.
We need to explore the scientific philosophy behind using music as a remedy for, issues in your romantic life. And then, this is a crucial detail, how this music is actually structured to mirror the physical and emotional stages of human intimacy.
We're looking for the blueprint. But before we get there, we really have to look at the man who created it.
We do.
Dr. Viswakarma's credentials, they lend a significant weight to all these claims because he is not coming at this just from a musical angle.
Exactly. He is a consultant dermatologist, a cosmetologist, and he specializes as an expert in sexually transmitted diseases.
So he understands the body.
Intimately. He understands physiology, dermal responses, biological processes. But alongside all of this intense medical expertise, he has a deep, keen interest in music.
And that's the connection.
That dual perspective is what allowed him to synthesize these ideas into a formal project.
That makes the whole music as remedy claim much more compelling. I mean, he's leveraging a deep understanding of human health to suggest an alternative path, maybe moving away from relying on, medication.
That is the core belief. He contends that listening to the right kind of music can significantly help improve intimate experiences and promote healthier relationships.
Okay, so what's the scientific foundation for that?
Well, as it's laid out in the source material, it all hinges on the idea that sound, delivered at specific frequencies, directly affects human behavior and physiological states.
And here's where we need to push for a little clarity. When we say specific frequencies, are we talking about something general, like tuning notes to 432 hertz? Or are we getting into something more precise, like binaural beats designed to entrain the brain into, say, an alpha or theta state?
That's a great question because the term is it's used pretty broadly. What Dr. Viswakarma references is research suggesting music can influence an individual's physiology directly during romantic activity. So while the source material doesn't give us the exact hertz ranges, the context suggests it's about autonomic nervous system responses. Think less about catchy melodies and more about deep, sustained sonic resonance that affects heart rate, respiration, maybe even hormone release.
That makes sense. They're trying to influence the body's internal environment, and they're grounding this modern frequency research in something ancient, the Kama Sutra.
Precisely. The project links its scientific goals to the Kama Sutra, describing it as the ancient treatise on the art of making love.
Right.
And by integrating that structured sound with this philosophical framework, the overall goal isn't just temporary satisfaction. It's an ultimate, exhilarating, and everlasting experience. A holistic enhancement of mind, body, and soul.
And there's more to it. This philosophy is also backed by his upcoming literary work. Tell us about the book, Quantum Union.
Right. Quantum Union is Dr. Viswakarma's forthcoming book. It dives deep into the concept that the whole musical structure is built on. The union of the mind, body, and soul. He provided this concept, this blueprint, to a panel of expert music maestros who then translated those physiological and philosophical ideas into the actual music.
So the compositions are rigorously architected to follow these human emotional and physical arcs.
Exactly, which is the structural guidance we need to focus on next. If the core concept is this union, then the music needs a precise narrative to guide it.
And that brings us directly to the first major album in the project, Romance.
Romance is the initial release, yeah. It's an EP with 4 distinctive instrumental tracks. It's the foundation of what's intended to be a complete 4-album series.
And the structural parallel here is It's brilliant in its simplicity, but you have to imagine it's incredibly complex to execute.
It is.
They've mapped the music directly to human physiology, representing the 4 distinct stages of making love in a sequential journey.
That mapping is absolutely crucial. It really illustrates the intentional use of sound to pace and facilitate the entire experience.
So the 4 tracks are titled
First, excitement. Then it moves into the second track, plateau.
Plateau. Okay.
After that, the third track, the peak, and finally the fourth track is resolution.
So let's just break down the mechanics of this a bit. If the first track is excitement, you'd have to assume the composition needs to gently stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, right? Maybe
Right.
through faster rhythms or ascending melodies.
Logically, yes. Excitement would likely use compositions and frequencies designed to increase alertness, maybe sharper acoustic attacks or more complex percussive patterns from an instrument like the tabla.
And then for plateau, it has to transition to a state of sustained, heightened engagement.
Right. The rhythms would probably become steadier, maintaining that energy without just escalating endlessly.
And what about the peak? The third track, the physiological climax.
Well, that would require a maximum sonic event. Not necessarily high volume, but high intensity.
I see.
It likely involves a fusion of all the instrumental lines, a complex harmonic structure that's designed to resonate at a frequency associated with the most intense neural activity.
And then resolution, the cool down.
The integration, yeah.
Huh.
This is where the music has to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system to induce deep calm,
So we'd expect lower, sustained frequencies.
probably dominated by the smooth resonance of a flute or deep sitar chords, something to really facilitate relaxation.
That level of detail explains why the composition focuses so heavily on traditional acoustic Indian instruments. It's not just an aesthetic choice.
No, it's a choice of harmonic depth. They use wide variety of acoustic instruments.
Yeah.
The sitar, tabla, flute, and the mridangam.
And those instruments, especially the sitar, are known for their rich, complex harmonic overtones.
Those overtones are vital in frequency research. They produce a much fuller, more enveloping sound field than a lot of synthetic sounds, which is essential if you want to achieve true physiological resonance.
And we're told the music features intricate orchestral arrangements, aiming for this deeply immersive experience that really requires focus.
It does. And the total duration of this first album, Romance, runs for a full 2 hours.
2 hours.
The duration is maybe the most fascinating structural detail. I mean, we are not talking about 3-minute pop songs for quick consumption.
No.
The commitment is deep. Each of those 4 tracks has a significant intentional duration of 30 minutes.
30 minutes per stage. That detail is so critical. It suggests the music is fundamentally structured to prevent rushing, right?
Okay.
To encourage sustained presence and focus, which, I mean, that in itself is a therapeutic benefit in modern life.
It forces a change in pacing. The music is designed to facilitate and sustain the full experience, not to hurry it. And on top of that, the composition specifies that each track features 2 lead instruments driving the arrangement.
So complex, layered interplay that evolves over that half hour.
To maintain your engagement without becoming monotonous.
So the intent of the sound is explicitly tied back to that applied frequency science we were talking about. This is sound architecture engineered to optimize human biological responses.
That's it. This is applied sound science, presented as a non-pharmacological way to enhance intimate activities. The music's ability to guide you through these sustained stages is why it reportedly works.
And if we connect that structure to the bigger picture, the music's design allows for a dual application. It broadens its relevance beyond just romantic activity.
That is a key takeaway for anyone listening, because the music moves through these cycles of stimulation and deep resolution. Especially in that 30-minute resolution track, it functions very effectively as a therapeutic relaxant.
So while it's structured around the stages of making love, the tracks can also be used for just general well-being.
Of course.
You can play them to calm your senses after a hectic day at work or, when you're suffering from stress or anxiety.
The same frequencies and long sustained rhythms that bring the body back to parasympathetic calm after the peak also function as an antidote to information overload and modern stress. It's intentional frequency science applied to general decompression.
And in Romance is just the opening movement. The grand vision is the complete KAMASUTRA series.
4 planned albums in total, each exploring a different aspect of intimacy.
So after Romance.
The other 3 planned albums are named Passion, Seduction, and Lust.
So a deliberate exploration of different emotional and physical dynamics. Each one would likely need a completely distinct sonic architecture, a different frequency profile.
Precisely. You can imagine romance focuses more on sustained connection, while maybe lust would be more about immediate excitement, requiring different tempos and instruments.
And looking forward, Dr. Viswakarma's plans show a clear intention to expand this whole project globally.
Yeah, he aims to come up with future albums involving Western instruments and artists. That would take the concept beyond the traditional Indian instruments used in this first release.
That move is crucial for global accessibility, isn't it? It would allow a wider audience to connect with the soundscapes while keeping that core scientific structure.
For sure. But his vision doesn't stop with audio.
Right. This is where the concept becomes truly holistic.
It does. The source material briefly mentions his entrepreneurial interests, specifically owning a company called KS.
And that company is interested in interior designing services for one's recreation and, well, lovemaking rooms.
And that detail is more than just a throwaway line. It suggests he sees the physical environment as a complete extension of the sonic one.
It's a total approach to optimization. The sound creates the internal state, and the interior design creates the external atmosphere.
It reinforces this idea of total intention. It's not just about the music you listen to, it's about creating a dedicated, optimized space that allows you to fully engage with the purpose of the music. It links the sound science to spatial and emotional well-being.
So what does this all mean? We've explored how a medical consultant synthesized his deep expertise in human biology with his passion for structured sound to create this record-breaking, scientifically rooted project.
It really is an entire endeavor designed to promote holistic well-being through carefully chosen sound frequencies.
Yeah. This deep dive reveals a highly specific, custom-calibrated application of music. It takes sound so far beyond just background noise.
It positions it as a sophisticated tool, one designed to guide and enhance complex human physiological responses. The structure, the instruments, the 30-minute duration for each stage, they all serve a precise scientific objective.
It is a fascinating fusion. Ancient philosophical texts and modern frequency research all offering this highly structured, non-pharmacological path toward both enhanced intimacy and general decompression.
Which, it raises an important question for you to consider. It's carefully tuned instrumental music, based on scientific frequency research, can optimize internal, intensely private experiences like romance and stress relief. What other complex human behaviors, from focus and concentration to learning and deep rest, could be fundamentally enhanced or regulated simply by precisely tuning the sound environment around us, something for you to mull or explore on your own.